Yo, 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 yo. What's up, LA Live Gang? This is your boy AC, and welcome back to a special Sunday afternoon. Well, yeah, it was noon time edition of LA Sports Live. As you guys come to the video, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out, and I really appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, if you just found a brother, go ahead and subscribe. And while you at it, make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every day when we drop new videos here on YouTube. Now, you guys see the thumbnail. You see the title. Before we get to it, we'll wait. We'll wait a little bit, see if we get a few more people to jump onto the stream. I ain't one for repeating repeating myself, but the LA Lakers. I'm tempted to go and check, but I think their summer league is over, and I actually think the summer league championship game is today, and it'll be let's see here, the summer league championship. I think it's the Knicks versus the Portland Trailblazers. The Lakers were good enough. That summer league team was good enough to be right in the middle of that mix. But Jay Huff went down, man. Jay Huff went down, went into protocol, and I believe he lost. He was out 4 games, and the Lakers won 2 and lost 2. But other than that, they would have been undefeated. I don't know how it goes, but anyway, I believe Sports Fury they're streaming the championship game between the Knicks and the Trailblazers, and I think that just started about 5 minutes ago or so. So that's cool. But I really do think the Lakers were good enough to be in the mix. Excuse me, to go for that championship. But the big man went down, and that's just the way it goes. But and then we do have some more news on the Kyrie Irving um, trade situation. I want to look something up real quick. I want to look something up. On what date was the Anthony Davis trade completed? Lakers trade for Anthony Davis. Just curious. What what day was that on? What day was that on? Let me see. It says June 15th. Okay, so we're a month past that. Just just for perspective, I was just wondering because that trade was. I kind of thought that trade was completed later on in the off season, but it says pretty much it was completed in June. I guess that was right after the playoffs. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Laker fans for life. Oops. Um, so I was just kind of curious in relation to the AD trade when if we could possibly get some kind of omen as to when um, the Kyrie Irving trade will be completed, if it will be completed. We got some news on that, but I'll save it for later. But yeah. But anyway, what's up, everybody in the chat? What's up, everybody watching the stream? The link is in the description. Not in the description. The link is in the chat if anybody wants to come through. Other than that, we're gonna talk about like I said, you guys see the thumbnail. You see the title. Let's get straight to it. Now, look, you guys know we went down to Summer League, myself and Lakers over everything. And first of all, the purpose of the trip was to get away. You always need to get away to get a little break, a little recharge. Um, Fortunately, for me, I was able to get a sponsor for that trip. And before I forget, I've already done it already, but I'm going to do it again. Shout out to Elder Rufus, Straightway, Georgia. He pretty much sponsored a big part of the trip. with his donations to the channel and the Cash App. So once again, salute to Elder Rufus, Straightway, Georgia. I think most of you guys that are familiar with these type of channels know that you know Elder. You know he's a big time Laker fan, and he supports a lot of us. And once again, I just want to say a big thank you to Elder Rufus, and basically thanking him for with his Cash App donations, pretty much sponsoring a big part of that trip down there to Vegas for me, man. I really really appreciate it. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to the topic at hand. Cole Swider. Okay, yo, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? I think you can. I don't know. I'm looking at my computer. I see one thing. I'm looking at my phone. I see something different. So I don't know. But I'm guessing you can. But anyway, you guys see the thumbnail. You see the title. Let's get straight to it. Now, look, we know that preseason is one thing. We know summer league is another thing. We know G League is another thing. And one thing all those things have in common is it's not the NBA, right? It's not the full blown NBA. So sometimes you have to exercise a little bit of caution when it comes to player evaluation. And there's a lot of guys. If you look up, right, if you look up the top scorers in NBA summer league history, it's a bunch of guys you never heard of, right? So you've got some standouts in there, but if you look up the leading scorers in summer league history, it's a bunch of guys you never really even heard of before. So you don't get too excited when you see a player go crazy or do excuse me do something crazy in summer league. Um, but one of the things I look for is I'm not no big time talent evaluator or anything like that. But one thing I look for is just to see, man, if a player is consistent. You know what I'm saying? I just look to see if a player is consistent and in whatever he does. And I don't necessarily mean dominating the game or whatever, because that happens, but it's like a select few or whatever. I'm not necessarily just talking about that, but like let's say if whatever the player is doing, let's say whether it be playing defense or uh, you know, running the point guard, and he's been a good leader on the floor, uh, is able to run the offense and all that kind of stuff. Is a good floor general. If he's able to do that, what I look for is he able to do it over the whole course of the league, of the whole summer league, and because the way the league is now, you have a lot of guys who make the league, and some of them are not great all around players, but they have a specific skill set that keeps them employed. You know what I'm saying? That keeps them around. It keeps them in the league. Now, if you look at Cole Swider, the young man, let me look at my notes because you got to be prepared. 6'9", senior, I believe he was a senior coming out of Syracuse. I didn't know, but he actually transferred from Villanova. I believe it was Villanova. In his senior year, he felt like he wasn't really getting utilized, and so he went to the transfer portal. Ended up in Syracuse. Excuse me. I think he already had some ties with the coaching staff in Syracuse. So he went to Syracuse, and he got on with the team, and had a pretty good season. Now Cole, he transferred. I guess it was from Villanova, and he had kind of a slow start. I guess you could say he had kind of a slow start to his final season there. Cole started out 3 from 22 from 3-point range. He started out the season 3 for 22. He's a little down on himself, but he really believed in himself. The coaching staff told him, "Look, keep doing your thing. We're gonna rock with you no matter what," and it paid off. Cole was able to turn around his last and final college season at Syracuse. Um, his last, what is it, 16? No, 13 games of his college career. He shot a crazy 40 out of 77 from 3-point range. I repeat, the last 15 games of his college career in college at Syracuse, he shot a blazing 40 for 77 from 3-point range, shot 86% from free throws. Now, just in case you weren't able to calculate that math from threes, he shot 52% from threes over the last half of his final college season. Not sure how he went undrafted, but what do I know? Now, now we're not now. There's obvious holes, right? There's obvious holes in Cole Swider's game. They've been pointed out, so I'm not going to sit around here and harp on them. Um, but the biggest knock or the biggest gripe about his game is his defense. He kind of looks slow of foot a little bit. Doesn't get as many rebounds as you would expect for a guy 6'9", and his defense is severely suspect. Well, I wouldn't say severely suspect, but it's suspect. So those are obvious things that most people can pick up real quick and evaluate about his game. But like I was saying earlier, man, this is the NBA. There's a lot of players who are not complete, have obvious holes in their game. So it's like, the thing is, if you one of these guys who are quote unquote specialists, right? And I think he can be one, man. I think Cole Swider could possibly be one of these 3-point snipers, one of these 3-point specialists. I don't know why. It's just the feeling that I have. Um, based upon what I saw with him in his college career, specifically his last season, and over the whole summer league. Okay, let's look at his stats for the summer league, and maybe even look at some of the stats of the summer league from other star NBA players, just for context. Okay, so let's look at Cole's stats for both summer leagues, the one up in San Francisco and the one for Vegas. So for a total combined, well, actually, Cole Swider, his last his last and final summer league game the other night, he scored 16 points on 6 of 9 shooting from excuse me, on 6 of 9 shooting, and he shot 4 from 6 from 3-point range. As it stands right now, and he collected 3 rebounds. As it stands right now, Cole Swider is on a 2-way contract along with Scottie Pippen Jr. for the LA Lakers. Um, let's see. Cole Swider, let's see. He has several games. I think 6. I had it written down. I don't know where it's at. But anyway, he has 6 or 7 double-digit scoring games. He averaged 14 points a game, 4 rebounds for the whole summer league, and he shot 52% from the field in the whole summer league, and he shot 52% from threes throughout the summer league. Now, if that was like 1, 2, or 3 games, it's like, okay, all right, whatever. But if I'm not mistaken, the Lakers played about a good 10 summer league games. So that's a pretty decent sample size. And for him to be very consistent shooting, 52% overall from the field, 52% overall from the three. And like I said, where did he shoot from free throws? Let me see. Okay, well, shit, I don't have it. I don't have it. His free throws for some league. But anyway, if he was consistent in one thing, it was in his shooting. Specific, shooting all the way around, but specifically 3-point shooting. And if the Lakers do not pull off, if they do not pull off this Kyrie Irving um, trade, they're going to be lacking, right? They're going to be lacking some shooting, man. They're going to be lacking some shooting. Okay, now my laptop don't want to, Okay, I don't know what's going on here. But anyway, there's one thing he can do. He can shoot. So where does that leave you? Um, let's quickly look at um, let's quickly look at some other former NBA greats on how they fared with in the NBA Summer League. Let's go all the way back. Let's go all the way back to 1996. The late great Kobe Bean Bryant, 1996 Summer League. At 17 years of age, Kobe averaged 24 points a game, 5 rebounds in the Summer League. Um, so he was doing his thing right off the rip. The great LeBron James in the 2003 Summer League, he averaged nearly 16 points, 7 boards, 4 assists in the Summer League of 2003, and he shot 37% from the field. Let's look at Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, 2003, actually same year as LeBron James. Carmelo averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, 1.3 assists in the Summer League. Dwayne Wade, yeah, I don't have the year. I don't have the year for some of these. But anyway, Dwayne Wade, he averaged 13 points, 6 boards, 5 assists in his Summer League season. The great Kevin Durant, KD, he averaged 24 points, 2 rebounds in his Summer League, his first year in the Summer League. And he shot 33% from the field. And, that's interesting because KD is known as he's known as a shooter, but he only was able to shoot 33% during the Summer League anyway. Russell Westbrook, he averaged 16 and a half points per game in the Summer League, and he shot over 50% from the field. Let's see, the great James Harden, he was able to average 14 and a half points per game in the Summer League, 3 assists, 3 boards, and he shot a pretty good 40%, 47% from the field. Now, some of the more elite recent. And I didn't check Brandon Ingram. The hell, I didn't check Brandon Ingram because I forgot. But anyway, let's go back to 2017. Right? Let's go back to 2017, and we look at the actual MVP of the Summer League. If you guys remember, the Lakers actually won that Summer League tournament that year. Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball was the MVP of that Summer League. He averaged 16.3 points per game, over 9 assists, 7.5 boards, 2.5 steals, 1 block, and he was the MVP of that league. And interesting that you guys remember Lonzo he had to be held out that last game because he had some sort of injury. I can't remember what it was. But his teammates picked him up. Most importantly, Kyle Kuzma, right? You guys remember that? Kyle Kuzma. And he had the team was just good, right? Because that team also featured Josh Hart. Excuse me. It featured at the time the White Mamba, Alex Caruso. But specifically, Kyle Kuzma, he picked up his teammate in that final championship game. And Kuzma was actually, I think, the leading scorer for the Lakers on that summer league team. He averaged 21.9 points in that summer league, 6 boards, almost 3 assists, 1.5 blocks, and 1 steal per game. So, what does that mean? Right? What does that mean? I'm definitely not. Get some water, man. I'm definitely not comparing Cole Swider to none of these NBA greats or none of these good NBA players. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not saying Cole Swider is gonna. He's a guarantee to make the roster. I'm not saying that he's gonna be a damn All Star player or he's gonna lead the league in 3-point shooting. I'm not saying none of that stuff. But what I am saying is, look here. He was consistent the whole summer league, both tournaments, Frisco and Vegas. Um, if you go all the way back to his senior year at Syracuse, from that point on to now, the dude's been red hot. Been red hot from threes. Even if you combine his college numbers with the summer league numbers, we're talking about a guy who's averaged 50% from threes. I mean, the dude can shoot. Um, I understand things will be if he made it to the Lakers. I mean, I understand things will be different. He'll definitely be challenged defensively. Uh, he'll definitely be challenged because people are not going to know if he's strong enough. He'll definitely be challenged because players are faster, bigger, and all that kind of stuff. And he's maybe a tick or two or three behind them athletically. And he might have issues getting his shot off. But the way I'm thinking is if he ever gets time or and you guys look, you guys feel free. Feel free to hit the link if you want to jump in or feel free to drop some comments. Um, I understand he's going to face some stiffer competition, more competitive, more athletic competition, but it might just be a matter of hell if he's able to get his shot off, because the shit is kind of slow. But what if he is? What if he is? He has great form, has a great stroke, um, and he can shoot. Period. Um, that is a talent that is of high value in the NBA right now. Is a very high value, and if he can come in, because look at it, if he comes to the Lakers, right? If he comes to the Lakers, uh, if you're on the floor and you're with Anthony Davis, let's just say he's on the floor with Anthony Davis, LeBron. Say if he's in there with the starters, but if he's on the floor with Anthony Davis, LeBron James, even Russell Westbrook or Kyrie, and let's just say they have a center on the court. Let's say they have Damian Jones. Um, a lot of Cole Swider's shots are going to be wide open, man. All he's going to have to do is catch them and shoot them, and he can do that. If there's one thing for certain, two things for sure, the man can shoot and knock down wide open shots. You know how many Lakers we've had over the last three seasons who had wide open 3-point looks and just could not knock them down consistently. We've had a lot, but for whatever reason, man, and we're gonna see. Look, we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens in training camp. We're gonna see what happens in the preseason, man. But I just have a feeling. Um, I just have a feel. Shoot, I just have a feeling that this is going to. This is going. I have a feeling that this is. He's going to be able to do it. I think he's going to be able to do it, in the NBA. And let's see, Jay Travels is saying at 6'9", he's shown he can shoot against with people in his face. Yeah, yeah, that's true. But these guys, whoever's guarding him, they're gonna be able to close on him a lot faster than what like he was probably used to in college and in these summer league games. So that kind of, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but it's still a difference, right? It's still a difference. So some people might think that that's a concern, and then he will just have to, he would just have to either prove them wrong or prove them right. Who knows? But for whatever reason, man, I just have a feeling that this kid is going to be able to find. I mean, you never know. The Lakers are short on guys with his height. They're actually short on guys above 6'8". So and then we know at some point LeBron James is going to miss games. At some point, Anthony Davis is going to miss games. Um, Bryant, he's coming off injury, so he might miss games. So I think and Swider is on a two-way deal. So I think he's going to have an opportunity somewhere along the line. I think Cole Swider is going to get the opportunity to show what he can do. I mean, look what happened with Austin Reeves last season. Austin Reeves was the 15th man on the roster. He was the last guy to get picked up. The last guy to get added to the roster. Um, and he was given an opportunity with all the injuries and all the COVID and all the stuff that went on last season. Austin Reeves was thrown into the fire. He he what else? He eventually found himself in the starting lineup. Didn't last there long, but he eventually found himself in the starting lineup. And it's just a classic example of what could happen when a player is given an opportunity. Now we all know. Look, I'm not saying Austin Reeves. I'm not saying again. I'm not saying Austin Reeves is gonna be no All Star player. I ain't saying that he's gonna throw up a dub a game or all that kind of stuff. But you know, guys can flourish in this league. Number one, if they're given the opportunity, and then if they can do at least two or three things real good, and if they can do one thing damn good, they find their way of sticking around some kind of way. Jay Travels. Shooting at the crib next to Jack Nicholson is different, though. Playing in the bright lights of LA affected great shooters like Danny Green and Wayne Ellington, so we'll see. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. But look, what, you can add other people to that list too. You can add other people to that list too. But Cole Swider, he's coming in as a rookie. He's not making much money. Um, I'm not saying Danny Green, and I'm not saying Wayne Ellington weren't motivated, but both of those guys were way on the other side of 30 before they came to the Lakers. Just a different situation. And Danny Green, I don't have any problems with Danny Green. He averaged 9 to 10 points before he came to the Lakers, and this is what he averaged when he was with the Lakers. To me, Danny Green, whatever he gave offensively was a plus, but he was very underrated and unappreciated by Laker fans because I think the biggest thing that he did was his defense. And with his size, he was able to, he wasn't shutting nobody down, but he made things difficult for a lot of, he made things a little bit difficult. Like when we played the Clippers, when he was matched up with Kawhi or PG or Smart. I mean, not Smart. Uh, uh, the twin, not Markeith, but Markeith's brother. With his size, his athleticism, and his, it's just his just general savvy. He was a good defender. He was underrated, and him and Avery Bradley were a good tandem. But anyway, um, I just like to see. Now it's not just Cole Swider, but I just like to see some of these guys get an opportunity and actually um actually the Lakers they kind of they kind of do need to play him, right? He's going to be on a two-way deal, but they kind of do need to play him. I'm going to tell you why. This The Lakers have done this with several players, and Laker Nations was pointing this out. But the Lakers, a lot of time, well, they've done it with Cole Swider. They've only signed him for 2 years, right? So he's going to be a free agent, after next season. So let's say I'll finish my thought and then we'll go to the chat. Let's just say Cole Swider, he makes it onto the Lakers, and he gets an opportunity next season for whatever reason, because of for whatever reason he gets an opportunity like Austin Reeves did. He gets an opportunity like eventually Alex Caruso did, and he plays decent. Let's just say he has a season similar to Austin Reeves did. But with him still continuing on with his specialty of shooting, that means going into the next season. I know Swider's on a two-way. Nah, but he is only well. Anyway, just let me. The thing is with these guys, man, they haven't been signing them to like multi-year deals. So let's say, all right, Gregory Brown. Oh, let me just get to chat. Let's say, let's say Gregory Brown, and you already know where I'm going with this. I'm slow. You ahead of me. But let's just say they upgrade him to a full term contract. Let's just say they up Cole Swider to a full guaranteed deal, and then they move Jay Huff to the two way. All right. So now, and then he'll probably be on a 2 year deal like every other young Laker gets. Then that means he'll be a free agent after next season. Austin Reeves, yeah, I remember him. Austin Reeves is going to be a free agent after next season, and I don't know I don't know how good he's going to be, but by the amount of work that Austin Reeves has been putting in on the off season, the Lakers had to kick him out of the damn training facility. Told him he was working out too much. Told him to go home and take a week off. So the young man has a genuine drive to get better. Um, I don't know. Who's to say? Who's to say that that won't happen again? Who's to say that won't happen again with Swider? And on top of that, it kind of seems like the Lakers are giving. I know Frank Vogel. He had input or whatever. He had say so, and certain roster moves or whatever. But it really does look like they're giving Darvin Ham a lot of pull. Well, you might look, Gregory Brown. These guys in the NBA will lock him up. Well, that's if they guard him, bro. That's just kind of like my point. That's is if they decide to guard him, because we saw a lot of situations where Austin Reeves last year was able to get off, and we just all not all of us, but we all fed into it. But no, a lot of people weren't really highlighting the fact that nobody in a lot of situations they weren't even guarding Austin Reeves. They're like, who's this kid? He's a damn undrafted rookie. Well, do we have to really guard him? Shit, I don't know. So they're not going to be able to do that with Cole Swider, though. We'll see how things play out, right? We'll see how things play out. But I'm just giving you an example of something that happened last season. Austin Reeves was able to get off and do his thing. Like I said, I'm not saying he's going to be some kind of MVP or nothing, but and he's not nowhere near as good a shooter as Swider, but he did one or two things good, right? He was a hawk defensively. He had good size, and he just hustled. He just hustled his ass off. That's that's one thing I can say about Austin Reeves. But Cole Swider actually has a legit. He also has a legit tool, which is his damn shooting, and that's a talent that's highly coveted in the NBA. So I'm just saying, I'm not going to disagree with you that if as it stands right now, if somebody wanted to make things really difficult, yeah, they could lock his up and they could lock his ass up and shut him down. Wouldn't even be fair. But I'm just saying, let's just say if the damn Kyrie trade goes through, and he happens to be on the floor with again LeBron. Let's just say let's just say if he's on the floor with LeBron, Anthony Davis, uh, Damian Jones, and let's see who else, JTA. You know, they don't really have to guard JTA too much, but but if you have LeBron, AD, and Kyrie, JTA and Cole Swider are gonna be left wide open, bro. They're gonna be left wide open, especially if they I keep hearing this. It's windy as hell in here in LA. It's hot as hell and it's windy as hell. It's just crazy ass weather. Anyway, I don't know, man. All I'm saying is the dude's gonna be at some point or another, dude's gonna be left wide open. And I just think I just think for whatever reason, he just has this knack for hitting open shots. And we've seen it. Now this offense is gonna be a little bit different than what we've seen over the last 3 years or whatever from the Lakers. But I just can't help but to think that if he manages to make it on the floor, and again, if he manages to be on the floor with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, Cole Swider is going to get some damn open looks, and I just think he's going to be able to knock down the open threes. It just at a better clip as some of these other people that we've had come through in LA in the last 3 years, and I don't know why, but this is just the feeling that I get. Right, that's just the feeling that I get. We'll see. Gregory Brown says, "Nah, these guys in the NBA will lock him up." Gregory Brown also says, "Yeah, Jay travels facts. LA is a different kind of pressure." Um, Victor's 12. You think Swider can be a Duncan Robinson player for us, or better, or maybe a Tyler Hero? Man, you never know. You never know. But like I said earlier, I don't know if you guys were here earlier in the stream. The guy, and even though it's summer league, Cole Swider, he played every game, and I think the Lakers had at least 10 summer league games, and the dude shot over 50% from three summer league. And I know it's just summer league, but like I mentioned earlier, if you trace it back to his last year in college, specifically the second half of his last year in college, dude has just been lights out from three. Period. Um, since the second half of his final college year in Syracuse, dude's basically been shooting over 50% from three. And then he comes to the G League, not the G League. He comes to the summer league. He plays all these teams. He's played all these teams, and he keeps shooting. Now, my whole point is, man, that shit means something. Now, now the obvious things like I discussed earlier, and I know people will say and people will push back on me is the level of talent. Yeah, I agree. I agree on that. But one thing I don't think is going to happen, right? If Cole Swider makes it to the Lakers, if he makes it to the Lakers and he's given an opportunity, I don't think he's just all of a sudden just gonna start missing wide open threes. Now I ain't saying he's gonna make 50% of them. I'm not saying he's gonna make over 50% of them like he's been shooting for the last year. But and and I might be wrong, but I don't think so. Because I'm just like this. I just don't think if he makes it to the Lakers, I don't think he's gonna shoot no less than 40%. It might be high 30s, maybe 40%. Maybe we'll just say high 30s. Let's say 38, 39, because the dudes in the league, they're going to be able to, if they do half ass guard him and he makes a few shots, it's bigger and faster talent. And like I said, they'll be able to close out and get in his face quicker than what they're doing right now. But I just kind of believe that he ain't going to forget how to shoot. And I think he's still going to drain these fucking threes. It's kind of like, what's this other kid? This kid Max Christie, right? I went back and looked at Max Christie's high school stats, and this guy, he was insane. I think he was one of the finalists for Mr. Basketball in his state while he was in high school. But when he went that 1 year in college, he kind of struggled, right? He kind of struggled, and the game was bigger, faster, players were stronger, quicker, and it was adjustment period for Max Christie. But one thing that he did in good in college was his defense, and Max Christie's been pretty decent, consistent with his with his defense in the summer league. But with his 1 year in college, he had a tough time shooting, and in the summer league he had a tough time shooting, but he was still able to play good defense, still for the most part able to keep people in front of him. And so I just kind of think that's going to be the same thing with Cole Swider given the opportunity. Now he might not be given the opportunity, I don't know, but the Lakers, they got some tough decisions on their hand with these young players because they've talked about trying to develop these young players, talked about doing things a little bit different. And you got say you got Scotty and you got Cole Swider on the two-way deals. You drafted Max Christie in the second round, but also you got Jay Huff. Now, again, I know you guys gonna say, "Oh man, don't get too excited about the shit you should see in summer league," but but that's right, Jay Travels. That's you. I'm slow. I'm slow. You already thinking like I'm thinking. The Lakers might have some problems because if they have Swider and Pippen on the two ways, and then Max Christie gets a slot and he's not really performing. But look at Jay Huff. Jay Huff has done the exact same thing. He's had the exact same type of summer as Cole Swider. Jay Huff, they went to the league up in San Francisco, and he played well. He played consistent. I don't think they lost a damn game. But as soon as they got to Vegas, excuse me, as soon as they got to Vegas, he went into protocol. They immediately started losing games, and they even mentioned it in their media sessions after games that they had it was adjustment not playing with Jay Huff because he did so many different things on both sides of the court. But it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence that as soon as Jay Huff came back, they started winning again. I don't think when Jay Huff came back, they won one game. When Jay Huff, they won one game without Jay Huff, and then when he came back, I think they won three straight. Hey, Jay Travels and Victor's 12. You guys make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you guys be notified every day. But you guys are kind of thinking like how I'm thinking, and I was talking to Lakers over everything. Um, that's kind of like four players on the peripheral that the Lakers they really shouldn't just let go. Cause now look at Mac McClung, he's kind of out of the mix. I think some team, it might not even be the Warriors. But Mac last played Max last, he eventually, he went and played with the Warriors summer league team, but he's kind of out of the mix. But that's another player I didn't. That's another player I didn't want to see go, but he didn't get an opportunity, so he went somewhere else. But it's like right there, I don't know what's going to happen with Scottie Pippen Jr. Ultimately, I don't know. Seems to be okay. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen ultimately with Max Christie. He appears to be sort of a project. We won't mention Sharif O'Neal. He's not even in the conversation right now. But with Cole Swider and Jay Huff, again, I'll preface this by saying, yeah, I know it was just against summer league talent, but for me personally, Jay Huff, he's been improving ever since he's been with the Lakers. He's been improving, and I'm not saying he's going to be some kick-ass player in the league, but I'm just saying he's been improving. He's been improving. So I wouldn't just say, and thanks, Jay Travels with the sub. I wouldn't just say that this is some kind of damn fluke or something, and he's only able to do this against summer league talent. No, if you watch Jay Huff all through the G League season last season, he was on a steady, slow, steady incline. Same thing with Mac McClung. And the Lakers going to have some. All I'm going to say is, look, the Lakers going to have some decisions on their hands. They made it clear. They made it clear with the hiring of Darvin Ham. They made it clear that they want to go into a different direction, and they want to really start to develop players for the long run. LeBron James is not going to be a Laker forever, and I'm not. It's not a shot at him. You guys know, if you listen to the channel, I don't have a problem with LeBron James. I'm not. I'm going to support anybody who wears the purple and gold. You know, hell, if I if I can accept Carl Malone, and if I can accept Gary Payton from back in the day when we used to have dog fights. We used to have knockdown, drag out fights with the Portland. I mean, not the Portland, with the Seattle Supersonics. And Gary Payton we used to whip the Lakers' ass. He used to fuck the Lakers up. Lakers didn't have nobody who could hang with GP, and then they called him the glove because he was shut down all our guards. Same thing with Carl Malone. Excuse the language, but he used to fuck the Lakers up. He used to fuck the Lakers up, and he whooped our asses many times in the playoffs. But the whole point is, if I can accept them as Lakers, if I can accept them as Lakers when they put on a purple coat, I don't understand all this bullshit with LeBron James. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. But anyway, um, I just think that the Lakers have a few. They have a few young players that there's something there. They're scratching on the surface. They're just gonna need time and opportunity. But we only have yeah, you're right, Jake Travels. People forgot the rivalry Kobe had with Artest, but Artest hit the shot that got us a chip, so I love him. Yeah, man. Um, and shout out to Ron Artest. Shout out to Metal World Peace. He had battles with Kobe, but when he was a free agent, what did he do? Hey, he recruited himself to go play with the Lakers, and it worked out, helped us win a chip. So I mean, sometimes you got to put things to the side. Karl Malone was a player I hated. Okay, Karl Malone was a player I fucking hated, and the only reason why I hated him is because he's to fuck us up. You know, who likes it when a certain player comes in and always takes advantage of your team just because they're good? Him and John Stockton, they were a hell of a tandem. So yeah, man, it's gonna be yeah. I'm I'm gonna have an issue with him. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, when it comes to the Lakers, all is forgiven, right? Well, I won't say all is forgiven, but when they put on the purple and gold, you know, we got to rock with them. So I know I'm going to another subject or whatever, but I don't get, I really don't get all the hate and all the disrespect and all the made up BS um, surrounding LeBron James. And by the way, did you guys see? Yeah, Dwight Howard too. Dwight Howard too. And actually, it's a shame. Um, it's a shame. Dwight Howard. What the hell? It's a shame. Dwight Howard. It took him his second time around with the Lakers. It took him his second time around with the Lakers. For him to really get the love that he deserved. It took the second his second time with the Lakers for him to get the love that he really deserved. Um, his first time with the Lakers, uh, was short lived. It was only that one season, and then you know, the issues with him, the issues with Kobe. I'm trying to monetize my video, guys. Hold on, let me see if I can get this baby monetized. Make sure everything's turned on. But anyway, yeah, it was kind of a shame that it took for his to be his second time around on the team before he really got come on now before he got really recognized and the fans kind of turned into his favor and he helped us win the championship and then he came back last season and then shit just it just didn't work out. I don't know what the deal is, but it just didn't work out. Victoria's 12 says, not really, Bron. We just like some of his fans. They want us to mortgage. Yeah, because I was really thinking about it, Victoria's. I was really thinking about it. What the hell has James done to us, man? I mean, the Lakers know. The Lakers knew what they were getting into, right? They knew what they were getting into, man, when they brought him in. I didn't have no. It's not like it's not like the Lakers had some knockdown, drag out playoff battles against LeBron James. It's not like Kobe Bryant and LeBron James had some fucking epic battles, some epic playoff battles. We only had one. We only had 1 year when it was close to having Lakers. I'm telling my age now, but anyway, it was only 1 year when it was actually kind of close when we had Lake was going to have Lakers and Cleveland in the finals. Lakers made it, but Cleveland came up short. Damn, I'm telling my age. You guys remember the puppets? The Penny Hardaway puppets or whatever that shit was. But they had the puppet, and I remember they were trying to preview the NBA Finals. What was it, 2008, 2009, whatever it is. But but that was only one time when we were even remotely close to having some kind of significant games or playoff where we would have had to match up Kobe versus LeBron, but it didn't happen because Cleveland couldn't make it. I think they were put out by Boston or something like that. I don't remember, but so the whole point is, and we had some good, like, I guess maybe Christmas games or whatever. Lakers versus Cleveland, but by that time Kobe was a little bit older or whatever. But anyway, and he kind of kicked our ass. But anyway, um, but there was no reason for the Laker fans to hate LeBron because like it's no history. You know, it was before LeBron came to the Lakers. I don't know about you guys. I didn't even think about him like that. You know, hey, I'm just be honest with you. I didn't think about him. To me, there was no comparisons. Um, you know, and that was it. Now that LeBron is here, you know, I realize, and I give him his props. I'll never diss him. You know, he's a great player. You know, as Laker fans, we've seen great player after great player. So it's like it ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? He's a great player. I can comfortably say that without a doubt. Jake Travels, I think some Laker fans hate the fact that LeBron overtook Kobe on the NBA. Look, that's all subjective or whatever. And there might be some fans. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Okay, you're right, Victor. And there might be some fans who are kind of irritated by that. How Kobe is not really, you know, he's not really in the GOAT conversation like some Laker fans think he should be, right? He's not really in a conversation like that for whatever reason. Um, but you know, it is what it is. But me personally, it doesn't bother me because you know what the thing about it is. I think the guys who are upset about that and who that bothers, those are Kobe fans, right? Those are Kobe fans. Well, you see, I'm not a Kobe fan. I'm a Laker fan. I don't I don't get caught up on this who's the best crap because as a Laker fan, if you have been a Laker fan and you just say you go back to the '80s like I do, you've seen a gang of great players. So shit, for me it's really hard to say who's the best because if you've been watching it since the '80s and then you go to the '90s, then you go to early 2000, 2010s, now we in the 2020s. To me, it's very hard to say who's the best. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I just. To me, it's just hard to say for any certain degree, to any degree of certainty, who's the best. I could say who are some of the best that I've seen. You know, even just Lakers. I just say Lakers. My favorite. My favorite Lakers are Magic and Shaq. You can't argue with anything they've done on the court. Can't argue with anything. Uh, Shaq could have been better, but he just relied on his natural physical ability. Um, and he could have been better. Magic's career was cut short, but he was a damn good player, a damn good player. But the Lakers, they do have a lot of fans um, who are Kobe fans, and they believe he should be a GOAT, and they have uh, they have good reason to feel that way. Kobe had, he was a great player. Damian Ghost, shout out to Damian Ghost. Thanks for dropping coming down in the chat. Damien, make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that notification so you'll be notified every day when I drop videos here on YouTube. I was on another channel. I heard one of those worst takes in basketball. Somebody had LeBron in top 10 all time. Okay, Damien Ghost, give me your top three. Well, Damien Ghost, give me your top three or top five. Give me a drop in the chat. Anybody who wants to talk about that kind of stuff, drop me your top three or top five. Damien, or just tell me where do you think LeBron fits in all time? Because Damien, you don't think LeBron belongs in the top 10? Let me just ask you that: if you don't think LeBron belongs in the top 10, I mean, if you do believe that, right? If you do believe that, um, you do realize when he retires, right? When he retires, he's going to be the all-time leading scorer, and he's going to, as far as playoff records, as far as like playoff records or something like that, playoffs, LeBron's going to own damn near all the goddamn individual playoff records. So I don't see, you know, I mean, I hear people saying that. Matter of fact, I heard Tick, I heard Ticket today, you know, say he just, even though he's in the middle of a 2 hour video, um, giving LeBron props, and he's in the middle of a 2 hour video giving LeBron props, and then a couple people on this panel say, "Hey man, yeah, a lot of people don't know that you got LeBron in the top 5 all time," and then Ticket says, well, I moved him down to number 7." I'm like, LeBron's number 7, bro. I mean, okay, man. All right, is that's if that's how you feel. Like I said, this is all subjective. Um, the hell, this is all subjective or whatever, man. It's just your opinion. But I don't see how you could have. I just don't see how you could have LeBron outside the top 10. Or I don't see how you can have LeBron outside the top 7. Damien go say your top 5: Kareem, MJ, Magic, Bill Russell, LeBron. Okay, that's fair. Damien goes, AC, my bad, bro. I heard somebody say LeBron was outside the top 10. I meant my bad. Oh, okay, yeah. Dre Travels, you dropped your top 5: MJ, Bron, Kareem, Kobe, and Magic. Yeah, those are all names. Even if you combine both of those lists, those names, um, those names, they belong there, right? Those names belong there. It's all subjective. Like I said, Shaq and Magic are Shaq and Magic. I mean, yeah, Shaq and Magic are my favorite Lakers, but I don't think I would put Shaq in my top 5. I have to go back and check that, but I don't think I would put Shaq in my top 5. He would probably be like knocking on the door, right? He would probably be like knocking on the door of the top 5, but I don't think I would put Shaq in the top 5. Let's see, but to say LeBron is not he's not in the top 10, or for people to say, yeah, say he's not in the top 10, man, that's kind of ridiculous. And here's another thing, like I say, I don't normally do, right? I normally don't do these type of conversations or whatever, but after the Warriors won the championship, and there started to be some people saying that Steph has moved up to number 1. Um, Steph has moved up to number 1 on the all-time point guard list. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think so. Sometimes, man, people can be prisoners of the moment, right? Sometimes people can be prisoners of the moment, and they kind of forget some certain things. Steph is a great shooter, and I know if you talk to angry Lakers fan, he's even though he's a Laker fan, he says that Steph Curry is his favorite player. But even he'll say, even he'll say, um, Steph Curry is not the best point guard of all time. And I really don't think it's even close about Steph Curry being. He's not overtaking. He's not overtaking Magic. I don't really even. All right, I finally got this damn monetization on, man. What the hell? Come on. Even okay. Even if Steph won another championship, I still don't think he would overtake Magic Johnson. Yeah, yeah. CJ travels. Magic has nine first team All NBA. Steph's four. Magic still has more rings, and that's not even really. If you're a real basketball fan, that's not what you go by overall. You don't go by rings. But Jake Travels, he just mentioned one thing right there. Um, that you would have a severe argument with is Magic's nine first team All NBAs just the Steph's, and like I said, Magic's career was cut short. To me, and I know some people ain't gonna like this, but to me, um, Steph Curry is great, great, and maybe even the best ever, maybe the best ever at least at one thing, and he's damn near good and great at three things, but that's it. Um, he's not a great all around player. He's not a great all around player, and he doesn't have the ability to be a great all around player. You guys remember? Let's see. I know Victor. I know Victor's 12s. Remember the championship, our last championship against Boston. That last game, I believe, it was the last game when Kobe was stinking it up. Right? Kobe couldn't throw a pea in the ocean, but nothing. Horrible, terrible, disaster, shooting game. What did Kobe start doing? Kobe started dropping dimes. He dropped a dime. I believe he dropped a dime to the 3 pointer to Dan Artest. I mean Ron Artest. Later on, Metal World Peace, and Kobe was up there grabbing all the damn rebounds. So, and he was D'ing people up. So he was affecting the game in different ways. Steph can't do that. He can't. Or at least I haven't seen him do it. Let's just put it like that. I haven't, or if he can't do it, I haven't seen him do it. I'll just put it that way. Um, and to me, to be be considered or to be in a conversation of a goat or anything like that, you gotta be able to do it, in different ways, not just one way and that's it. Because kind of like when the threes ain't falling, that's it, bro. He gets, um, what's up, Reg Dog? Reg Dog's TV is in the house. Hey, everybody in the chat, um, subscribe to Reg Dogs TV. Um, another Laker fan. Oh, the wrong thing. Another Laker fan. Let me highlight. I ain't able to on here. But anyway, another great Laker fan just started his channel not too long ago, and he's putting up good content. So if you guys want to hear some good NBA and Laker content, make sure you subscribe to Res Dogs TV. Um, so anyway, that noise about Steph, moving up into the top 10, and Steph being, in the in the outside of the GOAT conversation, that's silly talk. He damn sure ain't the best point guard ever. Anyway, Victor 12 said Kobe was tired. He was carrying the team. Now the team need to show up in Game 7. So I get, yeah, exactly, man. Exactly, and that's the whole point I was making. Um, that's the whole point I was making about. You know, when you want to talk about one of the all-time greats, Kobe, he recognized and realized that he just was not having a good game offensively, but being a great player that he was, you know what I'm saying? He said, I have to affect the game in other ways. And he did it. And the Lakers were able to come on top. I haven't seen Steph do that. I haven't seen Steph, threes not going in. I haven't seen him decide to go in, D somebody and lock him up. Or I haven't seen him decide to go in there and run, try to grab every rebound. It just levels to this shit. I don't like. I mean, I'm not arguing with nobody on here, but if one of those clowns were to come on here, man, it would be exhausting because it just doesn't make any sense to me. Steph is a great shooter and one or two other things, and that's it. He's not a great all around player, period. Jay Travel says, as a point guard, you have to also be an elite passer and a floor general. Steph ain't none of those. He's still an elite shooter, though. Yeah, man, ain't nobody. We're going to always give him his flowers for his shooting and all that kind of stuff. But, man, just it is just blasphemy. I can't even, it's just blasphemy, whatever the fuck. It just don't make no damn sense for somebody to say Steph is above Magic. If anybody was to say that Steph is above Magic as far as point guards all time, they got to be under 30 years of age. They got to be under 30 years of age because if you're under 30 years of age, you just don't fucking know any better. But if you're at least 40 or older, and then you seen Magic play, in person, or you even have to see him. Yeah, Jay Travers, you got it. Um, you don't even have to see Magic play in person, right? But if you just see Magic play regular season games on TV, I repeat, if you just see Magic Johnson play regular season games on TV, you would know. Blasphemous. All right, guys. I need some water, man. My bad. But anyway, if you just seen Magic play on live TV during your life, especially let's say if you've seen them in some of those playoff runs, um, you would know, man, that Steph is damn good at what he does, but he's not better all around. Hell, I already say I don't do this kind of stuff, but if I would say with Steph, okay, they won this championship, and let's say if they win if they win another championship, right now I'll say he tied. Now he's tied, right? I'll say he's tied with number two with Isaiah Thomas. If he were to win another championship, it's all good, brother. It's all good. If he were to win another championship, maybe Steph may. I don't know, because see, there's certain things. Even if Steph wins another championship, even if he wins two championships, it's not like his game is going to change. It's not like he's going to all of a sudden become a better all around player. The game is not going to change. He's going to keep doing the things that he does. He could never, as being an all around player, I don't think Steph could ever eclipse Magic or even Isaiah Thomas as being an all around point guard. If you think about it, I don't think Steph could I don't think he could ever surpass them as being a better all around point guard. And even if he does have one or even maybe two more championships. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Hey, I just got this update from Lakers Daily. And what's up, Rufus? Shout out to Rufus. Hey, you guys, whoever's in the chat, make sure you subscribe to Straightway Georgia. Elder Rufus and his channel. It's a little bit different, but everybody knows if you're on these kind of channels, you you'll hear Elder on the panel, diehard Laker fan, a great man on top of that, and salute to Elder. Elder, if I don't know you were, I don't know if you were here, but I said earlier that you were the official sponsor of all the videos I did in Vegas. Thanks to your support for the channel. I appreciate it, man. And I got to have you on here. I don't want you on this channel because I mean, not that I don't want you, but you talk basketball everywhere. But I want to get you on my other channel, man, because I think you can contribute a lot more to that channel. So we'll hook up eventually. And I got to get you on my other channel to talk about some men's topics. But I'll get that together and contact you. Appreciate it, Elder. But anyway, guys, like I said, man, I usually don't do these who's best and all this other kind of stuff because it's all subjective. But that thing really did catch my eye after the Warriors won this championship, and people start to suggest that um, Steph, I appreciate it, Elder, that Steph is creeping up, or that he's some kind of way surpassed Magic as the best point guard ever, man. That's ridiculous. That's silly talk. That's you guys can you could use your Google, but that's poppycock and boulder dash. That's right, Jay Travels. Elder is a Laker goat. Laker fan goat. Um let's see. I'm getting another update here. Now Lakers Daily is saying Lakers Daily put out a article. I haven't read it, but they're saying Kyrie Irving he's resigning to the fact that he's probably going to stay in Brooklyn another year or whatever. And I'm gonna tell you guys, hey, that trade may happen. It may not happen. You know, we don't know. It ain't no guarantees. It may happen, may not happen. But I could tell you that story is bullshit. That's my opinion on it. I can tell you that story is bullshit because that's just somebody. Now it's interesting that it came out on the Lakers Daily. It's interesting that it came out on the Lakers publication, but uh, be that as it may, I think that's just more publicity and all this other mess. Uh, with the Nets trying to influence this negotiation, man. Like any story you guys hear out, it's just to it's just to influence the current negotiations one way or the other. Um, and and I think the Nets are probably frustrated that there aren't that many suitors for Kyrie Irving, and the only team that they can squeeze is the Lakers. And so far, the Lakers aren't budging. So we'll see. This might ride out. Yeah, Elder. Like I said, man, when I went to Vegas, the play wasn't really when you see it in person, the play is not really impressive, right? It's just different. It's just a lot different than the NBA game. But I was just looking at Swider's overall performance in both summer leagues, in Frisco and in Las Vegas, and you know this game had some shortcomings, but he just kept shooting the rock and making them. Over 50% in both summer league series, over 50% in his last second half of his college season. So I don't know. I just think there's something to it. Like I said, there's obvious shortcomings that everybody's has identified and poked in his game. But some kind of way, if he can make it to the Lakers, and like you say, he'll be eligible for 50 games on a two-way contract. I just feel like he might make it into the game, and this guy he can make open shots, and that might not sound like a big deal to a lot of people, but shit, there was a lot of players on the Lakers the last 2 or 3 seasons that struggled making wide open shots, and for this kid, I don't know. It was against limited competition. So we're going to have to see. But I don't know, man. Sometimes I just have these feelings about certain teams or certain players, certain situations, and I just have that kind of feeling about him. I don't know about this kid, Max Christie. It's going to take some time. Scottie Pippen Jr. I don't know. They may depend on who we move in these trades. Scottie Pippen Jr. He may just get force fed. I don't know, and they might just throw him out there, and then whatever happens happens. And like I said earlier, the Lakers, they're trying to say they're going to do something different and take out the time to develop these younger players. So let's hold their feet to the fire. Let's see what happens with Max Christie. Let's see what happens to Scotty Jr. Let's see what happens to Cole Swider. And let's see what happens with Jay Huff. It's not a coincidence that as soon as Jay Huff comes back, I'm not saying he's a legit player or anything, but it's not a coincidence. I think one game before they won one game after I think losing three in a row that he missed, and then they won one game, and then when he came back, they won the rest of the games. So I don't know. I don't think it's a coincidence. So we'll see. And Jay Travels says we have so many guards. I doubt Scotty gets a real chance. Um, yeah. And like Elder, I just watched some of the interviews, Elder, like the post game interviews, some of the players, and even some of the pre games. Um, the players said it. They said, "Look, it was adjustment for us when we didn't have Jay Huff out there." And honestly, it's put like this: Jay Huff, he was a 4-year college player. He played the full season in the G League last season. I think he's older than most of those guys that were out there playing in summer league. So him and who was this other guy for the Lakers, Paris or something like that. They he should have been playing good against these young players. I think is my point. He should have been player. He was young. I mean, young, older, more experienced. So he should have been playing well and better than some of these other summer league players. And he did. You noticed when he got on the floor, there was a difference. He was able to take advantage of these younger, less experienced players. So I think my whole point is that means something. I don't know if that means he could make it to the team or whatever, but I just think um, it means something. And Spotty, as far as Scotty Jr. goes, really, I guess it just kind of depends on what happens in these deals. If we end up making the deals, because it seems like a lot of guards will be moved in these deals. Specifically, there's all the talk is basically around the guards who handle the ball the most, which is Russ, uh, THT, and maybe even Kendrick Nunn. So if that happens, the Lakers are going to need a guard similar to Scottie Pippen who can actually be a point guard. But anyway, we just have to wait. We are guard heavy, but we just going to have to wait on these deals to see what happens, to see who we get. If we can pull off a Kyrie deal, we got to see who's going to come along with them. Because I think we were talking about the Lakers preseason. I mean the off-season acquisitions. As far as the bench and everything, I can't really give them a grade higher than a C. You know, I can't really give them a grade higher than a C. Uh, they went in a 180 as far as some of the type of players that they went out and got. They got much younger players versus the old fogies from last season. But as it stands right now, the quality of the players, I can't say is much better. I think it should be better. These younger guys, they will at least try and play defense. I can't say that for all the guys that were on the team last season, but I think these guys under Darvin Ham will at least try and commit on the defensive end, something that just didn't happen last season. So just based upon that, they should be better. But as a Laker fan, if you think that this team has, as it stands right now, if you think that this team has enough shooting to compete in this Western Conference, you need to lay off that crack because if we don't have enough shooting just yet. So hopefully, hopefully we can get these deals done. We can get Kyrie in here, and we can bring in Seth with him. If we get stuck with Joe Harris, so be it. And even if we get those two, that'll clean things up a little bit. As far as the shooting is concerned, with those additions, that'll clean things up. But anyway, guys, I gotta get ready to shut this down. I appreciate everybody coming through. Shout out to Elder Rufus, Straightway, Georgia. Elder Rufus, salute to him. Salute to Jay Travels. Salute to Res Dog. Salute to who else? Who else came in here? Victor's 12. Damian Ghost. All you guys, thanks for coming through. I appreciate it. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Cole Swider. We'll see what happens with this damn Kyrie trade, man. I predict. I I got it in my head. We going I think we're gonna get this done. I think we're gonna get this deal done by August 1st. I think Jay Travels Elder, I think we're gonna get this deal done by August 1st. Cause look, okay, when is LeBron's before I end this, LeBron's deadline, when is this shit? When does he have to sign his extension? I think it's I think it's next month, right? Let's see. Hold on a minute. Shit. Let me contract extension. Let's see. Let's see. Oh shit! I don't have a date on here. Yeah, that's the thought that came in my head. So none of this matters, and it's not for sure. But I'm thinking. So let's say if August 4th is the right date, I think the Lakers will probably put their last and final offer in. Yeah, yeah, he doesn't have to sign on that day, but I think I think somewhere around that date, the Lakers will put their last and final offer in with the Nets. By that time, they'll probably go ahead and give in and give up whatever picks are necessary just to secure Kyrie, and I guess in their heads, secure LeBron James for another 2 seasons and get him to sign that extension. They don't want. Look, he don't have to sign it by August 4th, but it would be to me it would be nice and clean to just go ahead and get the Kyrie deal done by August 4th, and then when August 4th comes around, okay, the Lakers can go to LeBron and say, okay, we got Kyrie. And hypothetically, we got Joe Harris and or Seth Curry, LeBron. Here's a contract. Sign. I mean, I know it don't work like that, man. He don't have to do anything. He don't have to do a damn thing. He don't even have to sign it. He don't have to do anything. But I'm just saying, from a business perspective, it would look a lot better for the Lakers to be like, okay, okay, LeBron, we did what we could do. We mortgaged our future. We gave away picks that go all the way to 2029. That is going to be at least 3 seasons beyond your tenure with the Lakers. I repeat, if we give away this pick, if we trade this pick in 2029, that's going to extend at least 3 to 4 seasons beyond his tenure. He ain't going to play that long. He's going to be long gone from the Lakers. So I'm just saying the Lakers will have a better argument. Say, look, We done traded away all the damn picks that we could up to this point. And we got Kyrie, and we got little Steph. I mean, not little Steph. We got Seth and whoever or whatever. Come on, LeBron. You got to sign an extension. And personally, I think he will. Personally, I think he will. All this stuff people talking about, he wants to leave and all this kind of stuff. He just want everybody to think that's what he gonna do. He just want to keep people on their toes. But at this point in his career, I don't think LeBron's interested in going anywhere. I don't think. And shit, I could just keep talking forever. But anyway, LeBron, he's playing things right. I think he's playing things right. Um, you think he went to the Drew League just to, just to play basketball? You think he went to the Drew League and went out there and showed off and showed out? He did it for a number of reasons. But another reason why he did it, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to get out of here. I keep saying it. LeBron understands that he's not really in LA. LeBron is just kind of like another celebrity. He's not looked at as like a basketball. And I'm not saying that to disgrace him or anything, but he's not really looked at as a basketball god or anything like that out here. He's looked at as LeBron James, and he's a basketball player, but he's just kind of like another celebrity in LA. So I kind of think the reason why he's going down to the Drew League and all this other kind of stuff is to kind of just garner more favor from the LA fans and stuff like that. To be more accepted, by the LA fans and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, Reg, dog, what you think about that? I think he has ulterior motives because there's no reason for him to go play in the damn Drew League in the middle of the hood. I think the only reason why he did that, yeah, he might want to get some run in. Um, but I think there's other reasons behind it than just doing that. He wants to go show he's in good shape and all that kind of stuff. But what's the word I'm looking for? He's looking. I think he's doing it to get more hood credit. Yeah, and yeah, you're right, Elder. Only LeBron fans say F them picks. We do care, and that's why I pointed out these picks. He's gonna be long gone. He's gonna be long gone in 2029. Hell, Anthony Davis may be long gone in 2029. So people are just brushing that off like it's not a big thing about us giving up those picks so far in advance. That's true. I mean, that's not true. It is a big thing. It is a big thing. We're not trying to be, destitute and without picks 4 years after he's gone. Shit, that's not good business. It's just really not good business. Um, to be trading away picks that far in the future. I mean, the Lakers have been kind of lucky with grabbing late round picks, second round picks, undrafted players. But I mean these guys that they're getting, they're limited. They're limited. And, it's a big difference by finding some diamonds in the rough in the draft versus picking early and getting better talent. Because when the Lakers picked early and got better players, they were good. They were good. And those guys have all gotten paid, got contract extensions, and are all making hundreds of millions of dollars. So, I'm never going to be one of those people who say F them picks. But in this case, if it's if it's picks and no Kyrie versus we gotta give up the picks to get Kyrie, man. I think we gotta give up the picks to get Kyrie because we kind of have cocked at this point, to fight in the Western Conference this season, to fight in the Western Conference and compete. Excuse me, to actually compete in the Western Conference this season, and then we can talk about this in the video. I agree, Madeline. But we can talk about this in the next video. But I personally think, I don't know how you guys feel in the chat. We'll talk about it in the next video. But I think the Lakers need Kyrie Irving. I don't think it's one of those things where if we get him, cool. If we don't get him, because excuse my language, but I'm not fucking with the Lakers. It's shit gonna be a hard pill to swallow next season. Watching Russell Westbrook next season, bro. If Russell Westbrook is here another season next season, that shit is going to be a fucking struggle to watch. Period. So I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. That dude got to go. And so in order to get him gone, I'll look at it like this. Yeah, yeah, that's yeah. One to the Nets and one had to go to the Spurs for accommodating us and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, for absorbing the contract. But if I won't look, I mean, I look at it like this: if we have to give up two picks to get Kyrie and to get rid of Russ, we'll just have to make it happen, bro. We just have to make it happen because we cannot, we cannot go through another season like last season. I cannot be sitting here stressed the fuck out, making videos. I ran out of people to cuss out. Just we can't go through that next season, guys. We can't go through that. So we'll knock on some wood, keep the fingers crossed, and then see if Rob can pull this off by August 4th. But anyway, guys, like I always say, this is your boy AC LA Sports Live. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to everybody who came through the stream. I really appreciate it. Thanks you guys for hitting the like and the thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. I just made a damn 1,500 subscriber video a week ago, and now some kind of way we up to like 1,800 already. Shit, in less than 2 weeks. That's crazy. But anyway, when we get to 2,000, we'll be having a giveaway, and I have a feeling that we'll hit 2,000 um, before the regular season. So when we hit 2,000, there's going to be a giveaway of a $50 Amazon gift card. So we're creeping up on it, and I'll let you guys know how you can win that gift card. But anyway, like I always say, it's your boy ACLA Sports Live. I will rap with y'all later. Somebody hit that outro.